Oh, it's time. Time to get radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Radical Comment of the Week for February 28th through March the 6th, 2022. These are the very best comments from that time period. Starting out with the honorable mentions, we have Art Bell, Hooded Farmer, and Not Taguro. The bronze medal comes to us from Troy Bilko. Car dealerships have zero new stock almost and are charging above sticker price. Used car sales are about 60% of their business now, and if you go on lots, you can see older models all over the place. Housing is the same way. My house jumped up about 30% in value because people are paying any price to get a house. The chip shortage caused by the pandemic had really stressed the supply chain to the maximum. People fleeing high-tax blue states for red states are driving up housing, and the fear of interest rate hikes by the Fed to curb inflation are driving sales too. Pay more now to avoid paying vastly more over the lifetime of the home mortgage. Well, Troy Bico, I got pretty lucky because just talking about from my perspective, because it relates to this. I'm paying, I think, 4.5% interest on a house I bought back in 2016. And right now, I think those interest rates are up. Right now, it's a lot harder to get just about anything, it seems. Homes, land, houses. Of course, let's go over to homes. Homes, land, you can tell I'm rusty for these radical comment of the weeks. Homes, land, cars, new cars, more expensive. Used cars, harder to get. Repair bills because more people are going to get their old cars fixed. It creates this chain. And yes, that applies to video games also. PlayStation 5s, Xbox One X's. These things being scalped for over $1,000. It seems like just at the snap of a finger, everything got drastically more expensive. There was a chicken shortage or something like that. I don't know. And then suddenly eggs were twice or three times their price. It's terrible. Everything has been terrible from a perspective of the market unless you're on the other side of it. If you're a seller, then it's good. If you have homes and land to sell, then it's good. If you have used cars to sell, if you have 5 or 6 used cars that's sitting in your driveway and some of them don't even run properly, fix them up. Get some new tires on them. You'll sell them. You'll get the maximum price you possibly can because of what you talk about. You said your house jumped up about 30% in value. Damn, that's a big jump right there. You said used car sales are about 60% of the business. Yeah, because of the inflation, people can't afford these high sticker prices on the new cars. So now it makes the used cars, the older cars, go up in value. The silver medal comes to us from Art Bell. Good notice by Sinister Moon on the No Swear Gamer. He has 150 patrons. Good coverage on Amico, and he built a big list of games announced by Intellivision CEO that went away. Good coverage with 150 patrons. Doesn't make it okay since viewers are being drained. NSG gets 2 paychecks when YouTube pay should be enough. NSG at least has no join. Pat the Nest Punk gets defended since he has superfan defenders with all his years doing his 2 shows. Pat and NSG do not credit the #1 news guy of Amico, Tony of Geek Getaway, making it like they are breaking the news and getting the scoop. But giving credit is super rare on YouTube. I think YouTubers are obsessed with looking great, and it might drain their glory and patrons if they gave Tony the credit. They are stealing from YouTubers instead of draining their viewers. The common misdeed here in YouTubeville. Well, you said they are stealing from YouTubers instead of draining their viewers, but I would argue if they have the Patreons and whatnot, they are literally draining their viewers of, funds and money. To different offenses, of course. There are, legitimate patrons and everything. Then there's the scammers and whatnot. And I've outlined that before. So I'm not going to say they're stealing money because it's legitimate. They have Patreon set up. A lot of these YouTubers do. But at least you can say they are draining. They are literally draining money from their audience for uploading to YouTube. Not stealing, just draining. Now you talk about the Amico, and I shed a tear in fond memory of all the coverage I give the Amico. But you know what, Art? I didn't really cover much when it came to Amico. And I didn't really follow a lot of that one person you say, Tony of Geek Getaway. I really did not. Mostly it would be people like you that stopped by the comment section and gave me late breaking news on Amico. Now, can I, in retrospect, credit some of these people for the news that some of you gave me? Sure, I guess so. Yeah, I can, because I don't know where to give all the credit, is what I'm saying. Now, a time here or there, I might check out a Pat the Nest Punk if you guys let me the link there and you want my thoughts on it. But outside of, giving thoughts for some of you, the reality is I very rarely ever went to any YouTube channels. And this is a big, shocking bombshell here. Through the years, and maybe you kind of sense it now, I didn't really personally care a lot about these YouTubers myself. It was in service of my audience here that I would actually craft uploads using my natural God-given born abilities. Now, a lot of things I could talk about here in your comment. Superfan Defenders. Yes. Well, maybe I want to go somewhere else. I'll stick with giving credit. Giving credit is super rare on YouTube, I have found. Because there have been many times where there's like a really big channel, and then maybe the news was broke by a smaller channel. And I think the proper thing to do would be is if you're one of these bigger channels and you see some news on a smaller channel, and I'm not saying some YouTubers don't do it, but I think it's much easier for those YouTubers to actually make it seem like they broke the news rather than give credit to a smaller YouTuber or to give shine on any other YouTuber. It's not really even big or small, is maybe some of these YouTubers don't want to let it be known that they didn't break the story. But it's kind of funny how it seems like whenever a story is broken by one YouTuber, within the hour it seems like there's these really hastily thrown together uploads by everyone else. And they make it seem like it's hard to track who dropped the first news coverage on something. Thank you, Arbel. And thank you to the bronze, if I did not mention that. The shiny, shiny gold medal comes to us from Random Gaming Joe. The funniest part of him getting dropped, BeatEmUps, over the mod emulation video by Nintendo is 99% of his viewers don't own a PC for gaming and certainly don't own one powerful enough to emulate Wii U. You need at least a decent GPU to run games optimally. Not to mention, most of them wouldn't even know how to set up the emulator properly. And Nintendo fans are usually the first ones to scream how bad piracy is. They love to rebuy the same Nintendo games a dozen times on places like the Nintendo Virtual Shop, so that video would likely lead to very little piracy. That said, I am rather surprised Nintendo wouldn't even have sent him one warning, asking him to take the video down and giving him a chance to remove it before they completely booted him. Laugh out loud. The only reason he gained a following was because pre-pubescent female Nintendo fans liked his long hair and cheesy accent. He's so dreamy. Laugh out loud. The fact that people send him so much free stuff and he accepts it is just gross. Not understanding your viewers is the title I'm going to title this. Not understanding your viewers. You say 99%. I can't verify that percentage. But you say Woodhawker's viewers, BeatEmUps viewers, 99% do not have a PC. They do not emulate games. I would say he needs to understand that he rode the Nintendo train. He rode on Mario's junk all the way to his success on YouTube. Without Nintendo, without that, there would be no BeatEmUps. Okay? Mario's, the Zeldas and everything, that is partly the reason BeatEmUps is where he is. Now, if you don't understand that, if you don't understand your own viewers, there's no way for you to maintain that success. You get me? Like the success on his level as being a Nintendo person, a Nintendo ambassador. He is so entrenched in Nintendo. He is half deep. He is so deep, I'm not going to say anything vulgar, but he's so deep in Nintendo, I don't know how he didn't understand that talking about emulating Nintendo games on a computer would not appeal to a lot of the hard Nintendo fans that do not like emulation. They do not like piracy. they enjoy paying for the same fucking Mario game over and over and over again when they could just easily go to the PC, boot up Project 64, and play that to their heart's content. But no, they would rather just go ahead and keep paying that, and Nintendo's happy. They're happy to sell you the same fucking Mario game for 2, 3, 4 decades if you'll gladly buy it. But not understanding your audience. How does this apply to maybe someone like a Radical Rick? Well, through the years, I've had several different audiences, and I would say, looking back in retrospect, the biggest part of my audience were those that liked me to follow people like BeatEmUps and report on things like BeatEmUps. That sector, that arm, was the strongest arm of what would be my viewership from years back. I don't even know if it still remains now, but that was the arm of my viewership. It wasn't even so much as calling out e-beggars, as some people would try to boil down what my channel was. It was the fact that I lovingly crafted uploads, giving so much attention to, honestly, people like BeatEmUps that do not deserve the attention from me. And that was, I would say, if I ventured away from that, which I did, not to say that I of course, still talk about it from time to time, but from me venturing away from that was me not understanding that a big part of my audience, just be honest here, the hard truth, were losers that needed to follow YouTubers every single day. I'm just being really harsh here, right? I'm not saying all of you that, enjoy hearing me talk about BeatEmUps or Camelot 331 or losers. No. But a big majority of those people did not understand and appreciate the fact that someone like myself is dedicated to responding to comments. Someone like myself is one of the best commentators here on YouTube. Someone like myself has been dedicated for years to being there for my audience. I haven't even missed a week. This right here, this 4 or 5 days from April Fool's Day has probably been the longest time I've taken away from YouTube for years and years and years. But I didn't understand that a big part of my audience that had built up through the years, a lot of them were just losers. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Even at times, I tried to improve the lives of some of these people by, helping them with their nutrition, helping them maybe score dates, giving them advice on landing females, maybe telling them that, hey, possibly having a giant video game collection isn't in your best interest, and maybe you should sell some of that off. Maybe if you're if you're getting to the point you're in your 20s or your 30s and you want to actually develop and build a life for yourself, probably it's a bad move to buy every single fucking amiibo you see and pay top dollar for them. Maybe there's better investments in your life you could be making. I tried to after noticing that a lot of my audience were losers, I tried to help them improve their own lives. But then that was drowned out by, hey, did you see what Metal Jesus did? Oh my God, see how fat he's gotten? Oh my God. And then it's enough for anyone to take a step back that's in a position and look and say, what kind of audience do I have? Do I understand my audience? Now, if I wanted to, I could easily go right back in, like a foot in a smooth fitting shoe. If I wanted to, I could get myself back to a certain level to where I gain my viewership, I grow my viewership, I bring all those people that were subscribed and have unsubscribed, I bring them all back. And I tell them it's okay if you want to remain losers and you want me to follow the mundane lives of all these boring ass retro gaming YouTubers. But I'm not going to do that because, number one, I would rather put a bullet through my brain than go back to that because these people are incredibly boring, most of them. And number two, I legitimately do care about a lot of the people that come here, and I don't want you to fall and waste all your life's time following people that honestly probably don't deserve your time. And I'll leave it there, but I could continue on. I could. I'm back, baby. Comment of the week is back.